ice cream sundae. Now, this was a bit of an interesting experience for me. Now, usually when I come in and order a challenge, the folks in the restaurant are like happy to see it. They're kind of excited. But in this case, the manager seemed a little nonplussed. And I was a little confused until I found out that there were these 4 teenagers who were all taking the challenge at the same time. Yeah, it turns out that she just kind of like figured I was another chucklehead who was going to maybe throw up and make a mess in her restaurant. So it made a little bit of sense why she was apprehensive that somebody else was coming in to try this. No, this group of 4 teenagers had come in to try the Chupatulas Sundae challenge. That's how you pronounce that, by the way, just in case you're wondering. The Chupatulas. And this is at the Creole Creamery. And it ends up that the manager and everybody there was really cool and really great. And there was a group of kids who were just like laughing and making fun of all these teenagers who couldn't keep their ice cream down. Yeah, this group of 4, 2 of them had vomited, so I was hoping not to follow in their tracks. Anyway, back to the Creole Creamery. This place was a really cool, like little ice cream house with tons of really creative different flavors that they had. Now this challenge is 8 scoops of ice cream with 8 toppings, and the flavors that I went with were brown butter pecan, cookie monster, bourbon milk punch, butternut squash, Steen's molasses oatmeal cookie, king cake, lavender honey, and citrus streusel muffin. And I gotta tell you, every single one of them was absolutely amazing. Like, you could really taste the flavors. They were all really unique. I was so glad that I went with some really creative flavors, not just the same old chocolate, vanilla, strawberry that you'd see at most any ice cream shop. Now, I showed up to this challenge absolutely starving. This was immediately after I had run the marathon in New Orleans, just a couple hours afterwards. I hadn't eaten much of anything since the marathon, so I was nice and dehydrated and depleted and ready to smash some ice cream. Smash some ice cream even. Let's see if I can speak correctly today. Now, their toppings, they have a ton of like different creative toppings. You're a little bit restricted on the different toppings you can make. They didn't want me to have any of the syrups. They didn't want me to add extra whipped cream because the challenge already came with whipped cream. So I got like chopped peanuts, a bunch of Oreos, some Butterfingers, some graham crackers. I basically went with a bunch of cookies and some peanuts because, yeah, cookies are delicious. So that's why I went with that. So the challenge is that you get as much time as you want.
We're doing this again next year. We're going to succeed. No, we're doing this.
Oh my goodness. It was kind of a ball watching those 4 kids just completely lose it doing this challenge and then just rubbing it in their face how easy this was for me. And there was this table of the ladies behind me who keep on looking at me and like wondering what the heck is going on. So yeah, you get this giant bowl of ice cream. You get as long as you want to finish it, as long as it's done in one single sitting. There aren't too many restrictions. But win, lose, or draw, it's going to cost you $30. So that's something to keep in mind. And this restaurant, or this ice cream parlor, does not take cards, so make sure you show up with some cash. Now, this is a great thing to order if you have a group of friends. You know, you don't need to do the challenge. All the ice cream was really, really tasty, really delicious. And I'm sure that any day that you show up, they'd have all kinds of interesting flavors for you to try. And if you do win the challenge, there's no free t-shirt, nothing like that. You do get your name on a wall of fame, but otherwise, it's pretty low-key. It's just like you show up, you eat this giant bowl of ice cream, and everybody claps for you. It's pretty fun. So if you ever do happen to find yourself in New Orleans, I definitely encourage trying to check this place out. They have a couple of locations. I'm not sure if they have the challenge at all the different locations, so make sure you call ahead to see if they can set up the challenge for you if you want to try it. I had a lot of fun with this, with talking with the folks who were watching me and everything along those lines. Yeah, not so much. It gets a little bit more difficult to eat a ton of sugar as you get older. I mean, as you can see, I'm going through this ice cream pretty quickly, because nothing like running a marathon to put yourself in a giant calorie deficit to really smash some ice cream and make it super easy.